Hey everyone, we are live. So good to see all of you guys on here tonight. So many from really around the world joining us tonight. So thanks for being on. We're excited to have a special guest, Danny Silk, with us tonight. And welcome. Hey, you're joining in our Burn 24/7 field training course. And this was started about 5 years ago with a dream to raise up worshipers, intercessors, musicians, Jesus lovers, to flood the nations with the presence of God, take over entire cities with His glory. And so we have about 19 nations represented in our course. It's about a year long. And man, we'd love for you to check it out. I have a short video I'm going to show you that kind of gives you the heartbeat of it. And then if you are interested, you can go to burnfieldtraining.com, check that out at the end. I'm David Fritch. I'm your host tonight. I'll be introducing our guest. And welcome. So let's dive in. I want to share with you Field Training, our 11-month training program to raise up worshipers, intercessors, lovers of Jesus to transform nations. Here we go.
So this global worship movement has been preparing the body to come out of our unbelief and awakening the dead things of our heart so that we will hope with God again, that tomorrow does not have to be like yesterday, that we are rewriting the destiny of nations through hope-filled dreamers that are rising up to be prophets of hope all across the land.
There is such a need for psalmists that will bring the reality of heaven and pull it down to the earth in this season.
All right. I still get chills when I watch that video. Check it out, burnfieldtraining.com. We'd love you to join in. It starts September. And one of the things I love about field training is you get to connect with like-minded pioneers all over the world. There's formats for live small groups and connection with influencers and pioneers that are doing this. And so we're very excited to host tonight's broadcast, which is actually an introduction to one of our courses that we offer called Building and Sustaining Healthy Community. And we're so excited to have with us tonight Danny Silk. So, all right, welcome, Danny.
Hey, how you doing?
We've been trying to sort out of all the technical difficulties on the back end.
We did. I think we got it.
But I mean, we just we love you, Danny, and we the Burn community has been feasting on your books and your podcast and your messages for years. And what I love about most of you guys tuning in, you're tuning in because you already know Danny Silk and you want to partake of this. But one of the things I love about what Danny shares and teaches, it's not just topical, but it's subject matter that really shifts paradigms and helps people enter into kingdom realities in a fresh way. I remember, anybody remember this book here, Culture of Honor? I remember reading this book when it first came out, and this Danny, this flipped my paradigm upside down. I was discipling young adults, and it totally changed the way we did everything, and it reoriented us. It broke us out of this fear-based thing with discipleship and really helped us honor people's power and their dignity. And so I recommend this one, and the students, our field training students are reading this one. I really recommend that you guys get it. I think you can get these two books anywhere books are sold. Amazon is a good place to get it. So anyway, we're really excited to have Danny on tonight and to share kind of really one of the core messages that he shares on, which is about connection and community and dealing with conflict and all of those wonderful things that are hard to talk about. But he's such a master and has such a practical way of delivering it that helps very difficult content become palatable for people. So anyway, Danny, thank you so much for being on tonight, and welcome to the Field Training broadcast. And I'm going to turn it over to you and let you take it away.
Let me ask a couple questions before we get going. Do I have to click on that presenter icon at the top again, or do I just use the one that we set up over here on the right?
You can use the one that you set up on the right, I believe, if it's still in there.
Okay, it's still there. And what is my stop time? What time do you want me to stop?
Yeah, I think around 8 o'clock, what we'll do is 8, or a few minutes after 8. I'll moderate some Q&A, and
Okay.
maybe for about 10, 15 minutes. And ultimate stop time is around 8:30. So,
Okay.
so yeah.
So that's 4 o'clock California time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So great. So I'll be done. Well, hey everybody. Very nice to meet y'all. Actually, I'm not meeting any of you. I'm just talking to this screen. But I hope you all are doing great. I just honored to be with you, and thank you for taking the time tonight or this morning or whenever you're here. My role for a very long time has been to help leaders, help people to become more effective in building relationships that are lasting, that are what I would refer to as covenant relationships. The idea of a culture of honor, or keeping your loved one, or loving your kids on purpose, any of those, Powerful and Free is about honoring our women. Any of those books, I just say the same thing over and over and over and over. And that really is that I would help people see each other in such a way that it builds connection, builds trust. We exchange truth, that I actually begin to manage myself instead of having to control something I don't control, which is people outside of me. What I'm most interested in sharing tonight is how you participate in culture, and how you, either as a leader or as a primary supporter in any environment, how you begin to understand what your goal is. And so I'm going to talk to you about how culture works and how to become an influencer in that culture. Now, this little graphic here is something I use in pretty much every leadership training I do. And I want you to take a look at this blue center. I've labeled the hot lava core of empowerment. Anytime you come into an environment of, whether it's an organization, a family, a country, anytime you enter a culture, you're going to have, and that experience has a lot to do with the way people move towards, from the outside to the hot lava core. People are like the earth. The earth is has this hot lava center, and it creates gravity. Well, whenever you have a leadership group, people at the top, people who can make decisions with money, people can make decisions with blessing. They can empower or they can disempower. People in the hot lava core can hire or fire, approve or disapprove, accept, reject. That's the power that's in the hot lava core. So whatever your opinion is about those things doesn't matter. It's just a reality that people are drawn to as close as they can get to the hot lava core from wherever they come. So, the outside circle here is the welcome circle. So I'm just going to use illustration of a church organization. Hot lava core would be the senior leaders, depending on the structure, but it would be some concentration of senior leaders. That's who's in the center. So maybe it's the senior pastor and his wife, a few board members or a few executive team members, but those are the people who create culture. They're the ones in the center of the organization who are given permission, who are the most powerful. So they are creating a culture, and people come from the outer darkness there into the welcome ring. And that welcome ring is saying, come one, come all, please come be part of this environment. We love you so much. We're such a welcoming group. We got you free coffee. We have a coffee shop set up in our lobby, and if you're a guest, here's a coupon for a free cup of coffee. And when you come into the sanctuary, we have special seating maybe for you. You're a guest. Here's our guest. Best seats in the house. We gave you a guest parking lot. We gave you a guest seating area. We want to acknowledge you. If you're a guest, raise your hand. Oh, welcome, welcome. Hey, you're here. We're so excited. It was so, we're just such a nice you to feel our love. So our ministry is, it doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter where you come from, welcome to our house. You're so welcome. Here's a free copy of today's message. Here's a welcome bag. It's got our new magazine in it. We're so excited you're here. This is the welcome circle. Welcome, 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 welcome. And so churches try to get really good at this welcome group. Organizations try to get really good at this welcome group. If you've ever been to Hawaii, they're really good at this welcome group. Aloha, here you go. Welcome to our island. We're so glad you're here. The welcome group is anybody can come. Everything that we do is for you. The reason we have church, the reason we have this ministry, the reason we have this country is for you to have such a great experience here, to want to come back. That's the welcome part of any culture. Some people do it really well. Some people are terrible at it. But the people that are trying to grow the fastest and have the most influence are the people who are actually working on and developing that welcoming part of the culture. All right? The next group is the plugged in group. Now, to move from welcome to plugged in, we simply are saying, hey, we're so glad you came back. Hey, we got people's homes you can go to, and roll out the red carpet for you. Go to the Joneses' house because they have peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, and the Smiths have blackberry cobbler, and the Johnsons have fried chicken, and you just got to go check it out, and they're so accommodating. So we have this place for you to plug in even further past welcome into maybe staying. So we want you to be plugged in. We want your kids to be happy. We want your marriages to be solid. We want your youth to be part of a community. We want the men to feel like men. We want the ladies to feel like ladies. To get plugged into ministry. So we're moving from the welcome to the plugged in. And this is the goal. The goal is to move people, the people who are able, towards that hot lava core. So here we go. We are welcomed and plugged in. Now, the red and the white part of the culture is, it's all for you. We do everything for you. Nothing's required at all. We want you to receive. We want you to be just so welcomed here. Now, here's part of the trouble is that people they get comfortable right there. They're like, hey, this is all for me. This is so amazing. This is so wonderful. I love being here. Look at these people they keep serving. This Sunday's called a service. It's all about me. I bring my 10 kids. We'll clean out the nursery of all the crackers. This is great. And so we've been doing this for 5 years. We come to this church and we just come and we hang out in the welcome and the plugged in part. And the people on the inside they become resentful because that's not really our message. This isn't all about you. It's really about changing the world. So we were hoping to make you comfortable and welcomed and get you in further. But then you stopped at believing that we're actually here just for you. We're not. We're actually here for the deeper realms. Now, people have to make a decision. They've been welcomed in, they're plugged in, they're on holiday. If they're in a country, they're on holiday. They're not picking up trash. They're not, trying to help. Holiday. I'm here to have a great time. I'm here for what you said, which was welcome, please feel at home. Now, when people go through the white into the red, there's really nothing required. Anybody can come in and then go to a home group, go to a men's group, go to a youth group, go to children's ministry. Anybody can come in and do that. But once you get to the green line there, that's where everything changes. Everything changes because now we go from it's all about you to you will give your life to the success of the mission of this house. And so for you to move from the red to the green is a graduation. It is a decision. It is a culture shift for you in the organization, in the environment, for you to move from it's all about me to I want to make sure this place is successful. I want to make sure the people core of this organization, I want to help them be successful in what it is they are wanting to accomplish on this earth. Okay, this is a delineation line. To move from the red to the green is a shift of heart. It's a shift of energy. It's a shift of paradigm. This is no longer all about me. It's now about the success of this organization. And I've now entered a covenant. I'm now moving towards the hot lava core of empowerment. I'm to take on responsibility. I'm looking for ways to add my strength, my time, my energy, my resources to the success. Now, those people, once they get inside there, they meet other people who've done the same thing. Cross over from the red to the green, your words are, I want to see success. I want to give my strength. But everybody that's in there already is looking at you and saying, show me. Show me that you've come over here to lay down your life for the success of this house. Show me that you are over here to nourish and add your strength and your talents and your cash and your energy to what we're doing in here. And so are there really to screen, to test the words of the people that have moved in from the red. See, culture begins to police itself, and it polices itself by, you're not getting through the green. If you don't convince the people who are in the green that you're green too. If you come in and you're kind of reddish green, then the green will push you to the red line and you will stay there because you didn't show up when you said you're going to show up. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. So I don't believe you're actually part of this covenant. You're still in the plugged in place. You're still making excuses for why you didn't show up. You're still blaming other people for why you aren't committing more. So all the people in the green, they made that decision. And so they begin to vibrate when you try to go past them. They go, hey, these people are not really green. They're red. And so anxiety climbs because the people who've come in from the red have not built trust with the people in the green. And so the people in the green, they're part of it. They will begin to vibrate. They will begin to say, hey, hey, who's this person? Who's this person? Because there's then the yellow. You know, there's a green card, and then there's a gold card. Let's call that gold. You got a green card, and you got a gold card. Now, the people in the gold have been through the green. They've convinced everyone in the green that they are here for the success of what we're doing. And they're now moving into, I will give more. I'm not on staff, but I look like I am. You can call me anytime you want. You can ask for more sacrifice, building something. You want more money. You want more time. With you for a week. I'll use my vacation. I'm all in. I'm all in. I am here to help this house be. So the gold card holders are the kind of the keepers of the culture. They're the pillars of the environment in many ways, because you can rely on them. They're leaders. Like, there may be people that help start the group and they were in the yellow, but the church just grew, and we need leaders of more than what we've got so far. We've got leaders of we had leaders of tens, and now we need leaders of hundreds. So the leaders of hundreds are now in the gold, and the leaders of tens are in the green. But they're like, I'll do anything that you want me to do. I just can't do that. I can't lead that many people. I don't. My gift doesn't go that big. You know, I'd love to give more time. I can't come to that conference because I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor, and I work like a crazy person. I work all the time. But here's more money. I'm sending my money, and I'm sending my wife. Here's my wife. My wife's got time, and she's got money. So here. So that's all in, and that's how all in stays all in. These are not value. They're not. I don't value these people any different. They just have a behavior that's different. But I value everybody that's in that covenant piece, because they're how I'm building the organization. They are tomorrow's leaders. They are today's leaders. They're the nuts and bolts of how this whole thing works. And then the hot lava core. The hot lava core is who have authority to lead departments. They have authority to start new things. They have authority that affects the budget. They can hire and fire. They can spend money. I talked about that. But this whole thing, this organizational gravity, pulling people to the center, is just natural in a family. I mean, when you're dating somebody's daughter, you know, you got to make it through the sisters and the brothers and the mom and the dad. You got to make it through all these layers, and you get introduced to different layers of the family. Country, business, corporations, whatever. They have the same, and it really is the skill of building trust with the next layer that gives you greater power, empowerment, and greater trust. Greater influence comes through your ability to build trust one layer with the next, one layer with the next, one layer with the next. Your success in building trust through the culture is what gives you greater influence and greater empowerment. Now, sometimes somebody is in the outer darkness out here, and they go, "Hey, I want a meeting with the guy in the blue hot lava core. So how do I get over all of this culture right to the president's office? How do I get a meeting with the senior pastor? How do I want to meet your dad?" Like, okay, whoa. That hardly ever happens here. There's only so much time for that, for connection and relationship and that sort of thing. So, I have $1 billion. Oh, Oh, you have $1 billion. Whoa, hey, you know, a spot just opened in a senior pastor's calendar. Well, amazing, has just got a meeting with the senior pastor, just like that. Just hopped right over culture, went from the outer darkness to the blue with 2 phone calls. Okay, so now we have somebody in the hot lava core who has not been tested by the culture, hasn't built relationship with anybody who's trusted, hasn't had to demonstrate that they know how to protect relationships, they know how to move through this environment, that they have any understanding of our culture. The way we build trust with the next layer is we demonstrate, I understand how this culture works, and I am more committed than I was to the success of this culture. But Joe Amazing is now in the pastor's meeting. Now Joe Amazing is at the pastor's house for dinner. Now Joe Amazing has the pastor at his house. Now Joe Amazing has flown the pastor to the Bahamas. Now Joe Amazing has built a relationship with the pastor, and nobody else knows who Joe Amazing is. The whole team is vibrating because we have no idea who Joe Amazing is and why the pastor's flying all over the world with this guy and why there's all this time and relationship building between Joe Amazing and our pastor. What's happening? All of a sudden, Joe Amazing is at our staff meeting. Who's that? This is Joe Amazing. He has $1 billion. And he's got some other stuff going on too. But the way he got in was with $1 billion. That's why I took the call. We need money. I violated our own culture because he brings. So I, as a senior decision maker, I violated the whole culture and put Joe Amazing in the hot lava core. I can't even tell you how many messes I've helped clean up because of that one mistake. Because now Joe Amazing, he brought a culture with him. And Joe Amazing now has brought a culture into our culture, and his culture was unaffected by our culture. And now he's in there with the decision makers. Now he's on a boat sipping Mai Tais or pina coladas or whatever with Joe Amazing, talking about how to change the world. And now we have 2 cultures in our culture. And pretty soon we start dividing our culture because Joe's culture wasn't transformed through relationship to empowerment. He hopped over relationship, became powerful, and created a church split, a culture split. You put Joe Amazing in there, whoever it is, however they got there. Maybe they can lead worship, or maybe they pastored a church somewhere, or whatever. They showed up and they hopped over culture development. They hopped over giving their life and their heart for the success of what's happening because of their talent or because of our need. Our need violated our own culture, and now we have a split in the hot lava core. It's painful, it's brutal, it's sad, it happens over and over and over. Sometimes people have been in our culture for a while and they made it through the red into the green. We love them, they're amazing. They got into the yellow, fantastic, and then the guy's got a porn problem, or they got a marriage issue, or their teenagers are blowing up and they don't know what to do, or the guy's having an affair at work, or whatever, and everybody gets scared. Whoa, you're scaring our world with your behavior, with your choices. And so there's a confrontation. Hey, let's draw attention to this. and the guy or the lady, let's pick on the lady this time, the lady says, hey, don't tell me what to do. You're not, you're not my boss. I know what to do. It's an emotional affair, and it's my husband's fault. And here we go. And so they're in the yellow, but they are not responding. So they start getting moved out to the green. They're on the kind of the green-red line, like, what are you guys going to do right now? Because you're scaring us, and you're not accountable. You're not. So what happens is the culture then, as far as empowerment goes, pushes them right back out to the red line. And they harden their heart. They're not going to adjust, but they're not going to leave either. They're just going to stay here. And so they're kind of like stuck in Frodo's, that spiderweb in Lord of the Rings. They're just stuck there. They can't get past it. They used to be in the yellow. They used to be one of the pillars. And now, because of the way they handle their situation, everybody's scared to empower them because of the mess that they have internally, relationally. Nobody wants that to get any more powerful. Maybe we have a young leader, and he got right to the yellow. He's just like amazing. We love him. We trust him. We've empowered him with leadership, and he basically pointed to a leader and said, I really should have that job. Now, whoa. Hey, this isn't a corporate ladder here. We're serving a mission together. And we don't like headhunt, and calm down. You are super talented. You are super helpful here. You are recognized as amongst leaders. But you create that orphan thing, or you bring that competition thing, and you're going to get confronted. Like, whoa, scaring people. What are you going to do? And he says, hey, I just think I'm better than them. Why are they leading when I'm better than them? Okay. There's 10,000 ways to handle yourself other than the way you are. So let's explore the other 9,999 ways to handle your anxiety, your frustration, your perception. And so that doesn't go well. So now what's happened is we have somebody who's scaring people with their confidence, not their immorality. I'm now overbearing, running over people with my confidence. There's so many different ways to violate culture and to get confronted and then not know what to do. So I want to talk to you about how to receive feedback in being in a culture, because you're not going to get it right all the time. I need you to learn how to take feedback, put it to work, and being trusted with power and having more influence, because that's the goal. The goal of a culture of honor is to have everybody be powerful, everybody be influencing to the maximum that they can handle it. And so as we do, that's what begins to be a culture, is everybody's doing it. French, that's how I know I'm in France or Switzerland or Quebec, or the culture is French. Why? Primarily because they're protecting the language. And if you don't know how to speak the language, you'll probably never be very powerful there. So everybody's doing this means it's culture. When everyone's looking to empower each other and to be maximized, we know we have a culture of honor. Feedback comes in responding to other people's behavior. Like, I am looking for gathering up feedback. Now, one of the things I want to know about you is I want to know that you're confident. I want to know that you actually believe that God can accomplish in and through your life what He's called you to do. I need you to wear it. I need to see it in your thinking. I need to see it in your decisions. I need to see it in your risk. I need you to be confident. super important as we move forward. I don't have any leaders that aren't confident. I don't even know what to do when people go, like, okay, well, I can't set very much responsibility on you because it's going to end up on the floor. So I need you to build strength and not shrink away from your confidence that God can do in you and through you what he's called you to do. At the same time, I need you to be humble. I need you to be super confident, and I need you to be super humble. The definition I'm going to use here for humility isn't powerless, hiding yourself. I want you to understand that humility is you know how other people experience you. You have accurate information about the environment's experience. I need you to be confident, and I need you to be humble. Because in doing so, you set yourself up to move forward. If you have tons of confidence and low humility, you're just experienced by everyone as arrogant. And people are going to push back against that. Like, nobody wants you to be more powerful if you're just a freight train running through this house. I need you to be able to take feedback. I need to have confidence that you will take feedback. If you are arrogant and won't take feedback, people are going to shut you down. People are going to keep opportunities away from you. You are going to hit a lid. You're going to get stuck in Frodo's web, and you're going to be out there, even though you're super talented, but nobody can speak to you and watch you adjust. So I need big confidence, big humility, and I need you to be a feedback vacuum cleaner. Yeah, I need you looking for ways to grow your feedback. We trust doctors to give us feedback. We trust some people trust spouses to give them feedback. Some people trust supervisors to give them feedback. We usually have got to go find ways to get feedback because we're not the best evaluators of our own goings on. Our mouth is less than an inch below our nose. The part of my body that is there specifically to detect smell. And for some reason, I'm blowing out toxins into the environment, and my nose, I'm the last one to know I got bad breath. I need a faithful friend to come to me and go, wow, what are you doing? What happened in there? Dude, here's a Tic Tac. Whew. Hey, take the whole shaker. Keep it. It's wow. You need some help. See, I don't even know. And it seems obvious that I would, but I don't. But I need feedback. I need people around me who can say stuff to me like, hey, brother, you got some growing to do right here. You have a blind spot right there. I've watched you do this 3 times now. Hey, let me tell you how I'm experiencing you. Do you have people in your life who can give you feedback? Because it's in receiving feedback that you exchange the truth. You actually have a true read of what's happening because people can tell you the truth. A lot of times when people tell me something I don't want to hear, I push it away. I get defensive. I react. I teach people, don't tell me the truth. Don't tell me the truth. I can't handle the truth. Well, I want you to understand that the highest form of success that you get is building trust. Trust is the exchange of truth. If I can't, has no receptacle in your life, then you will stunt yourself as a leader. You will stunt yourself in relationships. You will think Other people are filtering me out. That's such a clique. No. You will not adjust to the feedback that you're getting. You either cannot adjust, like you're asking me to sing on Sunday morning and lead worship. I'm terrible at it. It's going to go bad. I want to, but I a gap here. Okay, then I will be limited to this range of opportunities in singing because I just can't make the adjustment. It's nothing personal. It's not like somebody's trying to stop me, but my capacity stopped me. Now maybe I could grow this thing. If I stop right here because of my capacity, that was my own limitation that I built. That's the truth. It's painful when people won't tell that worship leader the truth. Building trust is how we move through empowerment in an environment. Being unwilling or unable to build trust is usually a system breakdown, meaning I don't have systems in my life that help grow me. I don't have any way in my life for someone to speak to me, to affect me. I don't have good information. So you have to ask yourself, who has permission to give you feedback daily? And before you just blur, you might check and see, because that's generally not the case that a spouse can just give feedback that creates adjustment. Strong relationships is you can put a lot of weight. It's like a bridge. Like, what tonnage does your bridge hold? Can you park a pickup truck or a cement truck on that bridge? It really depends on the strength of that connection, the trust that's been built there over time. Does the sign over your head say feedback welcome, or does it say don't you dare? If it says don't you dare, people will stop trying to give you feedback, and maybe you give yourself a lot of credit and say, nobody's actually giving me any feedback on this area. I think I'm doing pretty good. Nope. You might check the sign, see what the sign says, because when people stop giving you feedback, it's classically because you have a sign that says don't you dare. You train people to not give you feedback. If you're a leader and nobody's giving you feedback, check your sign. If you do a lot of work with a lot of people, check your culture, because sometimes the culture is afraid of feedback. The culture has been trained, don't you dare. Feedback uphill, because leaders don't receive feedback uphill. They barely receive feedback from peers. They only receive feedback from top down, and it's because they don't have a choice. Commonly, when you're in a relationship of feedback, here's a few lines that you can use to accelerate the gathering of feedback. You can say, I was wondering if you have any feedback for me on how this event went for you. How did you experience me as your leader? How did you experience me as your team member? How did you experience my support? How did you experience me? That's, do you have any feedback for me? Because a lot of people don't know what to do. They're like, I'm not angry at you. No, I have no feedback for you. I'm not mad at you. And I have to calm down. I don't want to give you feedback right now because I am angry at you. So there is some training that needs to be done. And but if feedback is cultural, then when you say, do you have any feedback for me? The person's like, yeah, I thought that went really well. That conflict with that lady was fantastic. I don't appreciate that you were late to 2 of the meetings. I need you to be on time. And yeah, I worked with you again. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your help. Boom. Feedback. Wow. That's great. I handle conflict well. People want to work with me, and I need to show up on time. Grow, grow, grow. Really appreciate your feedback. Is there any other feedback you have for me? People, I usually have a tissue, and I'm kind of moving the tissue through the air, and I go, "This is feedback. This is your feedback. It's yours. That whole thing is yours. I'm going to take the corner off of it and go, the Lord's been talking to me about this. Okay, and this one sounds good. I'm not sure why. And my wife keeps telling me this one. And so the rest of it floats to the ground, and I'm chewing on three corners. And I go, thank you so much for your feedback. Is there anything else? See, that's feedback. People think feedback is being shot in the face with a cannon. No. That's yours. That's all yours. That's your perception. That's your history. That's your skill level. That's your whatever. That's your emotions. That's all kinds of stuff going on there. But I pulled off pieces that were helpful, put them to work, and I grow. Some people like to think that, hey, who can give me feedback? Well, Jesus. Jesus can give me feedback because he's perfect. Well, that's a bummer for you because your sign says, don't you dare. He's being chased out of town by Absalom, and a crazy man comes off the hill and starts rebuking him. And Joab jumps off his horse, shing, draws his sword, and David says, don't touch him. This might be the Lord trying to give me feedback. This might be the Lord trying to talk to me. So there's a continuum between perfect and crazy of who can give me feedback. It's not the giver, it's the receiver. How well have you grown your receiver of feedback? Are you looking for ways to grow, or are you pretty stuck with what you already know? This is a process of building your building skills. That was terrible. Sorry. You develop trust with the people around me. That's your success. That is your limitation on growing as an influencer, being empowered in any culture. So that's about all I have for you. I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to guys, and moving into a question and answer time next. So I'll let David pop back on here. And hey, buddy.
Hey, so good and so challenging. Wow, thank you so much. I feel the challenge in my own heart, Danny. Like just the whole idea of feedback and checking my own heart. Am I really willing to grow? Am I willing to receive the kind of feedback that just keeps me moving forward in my vision and dreams? And anyway, so good. All of that's very rich, and I know a lot of people are going to want to listen to this again. So, hey, we want to open it up for questions that you might have for Danny. And, he knows the answer to everything. So,
well, here we go.
Feel free. No. Yeah, so just type your questions in the chat area, and I will kind of sift through those. So this is your big chance. Like, ask away in any context that you might have with what you're building, with what God's doing in your community. Okay. All right, so Michelle says, if you get sent to the red zone, what steps can you do to rebuild that trust and move towards the lava again? I like that.
Yeah, well, that really is that's a challenge. Building skills, where I'd start with feedback. Like I'd want to know, what problem are those people trying to solve? The people that moved me away from empowerment, what are they trying to do? They think you scared somebody. Now, lots of church cultures, especially, are just knee jerk. Oh, we found out somebody had a mistake. Oh, somebody failed. Oh, get them out of here. We don't even know what to do with them. Like, okay, well, that's an immature culture because they're trying. They're so scared that they're going to try to control people. And really all they do is they send a message. We only have perfect people in our leadership here. Like, no, that's not true. You probably have a bunch of people who are just scared to death they're going to get found out. And so the culture that you make a mistake in really depends or really creates the experience. So cultures are so varied, it's hard for me to say, here's what you do and everything's going to work out great for you, because that's not true. I mean, the leadership culture may be something you want to get away from. But if it's your family, let's say it's your family and you can't just get away from this one. This is like, I got to work this out. I hurt my dad. I scared him really bad. I scared my parents really bad. And they don't know what to do. I married a guy who beat me up. And now my parents don't even know what to do. So I'm out here in the red zone with my parents, and I really need them close to me. I really need that connection back. So humble yourself. Find out what good information they have for you, because they have some really great information for you. Not, and they're going to try to, maybe they'll try to give you lots of feedback like you. And that's that tissue. And you're just looking at it and you take off the corner or section that to a message that you failed as a parent when I made that decision. I'm sorry. You're an amazing parent. I love you so much. You did everything you could, and there was nothing you could do. It's not your fault. It was my decision. So you clean up your mess. The best you can. You get good information, and you clean up your mess as best as you can. And then you just start working on that connection. You're working on that connection. You're supplying what you know they need, and you keep asking for feedback. What do you need? What do you need to feel? Not what do you need me to do? Some of that's okay, but a bunch of that is just more fear and more control. What do you need to feel? And then I find ways to send the message. You're valuable. You're powerful. I respect you. I tell you the truth. I trust you. The more of that you can stack up, the more needs that you can meet in a relationship that's been disconnected, the faster that thing heals. And eventually you can park that cement truck on there again.
So good. So practical. All right, we got a couple of other questions. Chauncey is asking, how do you handle the situation or culture where the blue and gold circles have closed the door and won't allow others to progress?
Well, it's probably it's pretty tight in there. Blue and gold's pretty tight. That's those are the people that have said we have given everything we got to what's going on in here. So it's easy to feel like there's a wall there, because it's tough to convince those people that you are willing to give as much as they have. And you're 20. They're like, whoa, I've given 40 more years to this than you have. That, I don't know what you're thinking, that you're not getting in. You're not getting into the gold card if you're surrounded by people who've given 50 years to this thing. That's just a reality. There's a lot of convincing to do to get into that club.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, I'm just going to keep going through these. That's so good, Danny. Thank you so much. I want to respond to everyone. I'm holding myself back because I don't want to repeat it all. Okay, so Kelly is asking, what do you do about burnout in church leadership, but won't release keys to new leaders in an authentic way?
I'm assuming what you're saying there is there's positions that are open or underfilled because people that hold them are fried, but there's really no way for new, fresh energy to enter into that environment. Hey, David.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think what's happening is you're watching culture in operation, and so the blue and the gold and the green are there's a protection there, and when people have given their life to something, leadership appreciates that. So if you work at AT&T and you say somehow you're up here in this pay scale with this area of responsibility, and you have a breakdown, or you get pregnant, or something happens and your life is dramatically altered, and you're up here. Well, the corporation, the culture, to sending a message to everybody else that what we're here for each other. We're not letting go. So it is easy to look at that position and say they should replace them. They're burnt out. They should move them to the side and let somebody with some vision, somebody with some energy come in there. And probably if I were around somebody that I saw was burnt out and needed to be replaced, I would try to go make them look like a genius is what I would do. I would run in there and I would wrap my strength and my vision and my love and everything I had around protecting them too. And send a message to the blue and gold card holders that I am here for the success of this culture and all the leaders in it. And you never met a covenant person like me before. I know how to take my own ambition and shove it in my shoe and throw the shoe away. I know how to keep from behaving like an anxiety-producing, ambitious, crazy person, because I am here for the success of the whole, not the success of my role.
Wow. That is so good. I just feel like that if we all had that kind of love and attitude, that it would help amazing people who've fallen into those places, into survival patterns or burnout. It helped create something around them that pulled them back up into that place where they're shining again. I mean, I've had people do that for me, and I'm so thankful for that, for sure.
Yes, it's a beautiful feeling, and,
So good.
and it probably takes a while to trust that somebody's not going to stick a knife in your back as soon as you trust them and be vulnerable.
Right.
And it's probably because somebody did somewhere at the end of their life, and but you're standing right there in front of them going, how can I help? What can I do? What do you need? I'm here. Like, that's
so good. I know that's a legitimate fear that many leaders face all the time, not knowing who they can trust and who they can let that guard down with. And
it is really leadership's a pretty unsafe place.
Yeah, it's good. Well, we have time for maybe one or two more questions. Colette is asking, do you have any suggestions for initiating a culture feedback in a group setting? How can you help people feel safe, not fearful of control?
You kind of blanked out there.
Let me repeat it. You want me to repeat it? Okay.
Sure.
Do you have any suggestions for initiating a culture of feedback in a group setting? How can you help people feel safe, not fearful of control?
Don't be controlling. Yeah, I think that would probably be my best advice is don't try to control people when they open themselves up to vulnerability and input. Learn some coaching skills. Learn how to ask questions. Learn how to let somebody struggle in front of you. Learn how to allow God and pain and whatever else shape somebody, and not try to go be a rescuer. I think a lot of really well-meaning people become control freaks because they care about other people's things. For a parent to learn is stop trying to control your child. Just teach them to control themselves. Lead them. Don't drag them. Don't put them in a cage and drag them somewhere. Let them out of the cage and go, ta-da! Look what I did for you. Yeah, that kid's going the opposite direction than you were trying to get them to go because they didn't ask to be drugged to that beautiful place. They were in a cage, and as soon as you open the cage, poof, they left to go find their own beautiful place.
That's so good. I feel like you're nailing me on every one of these. I think it's such a temptation as a leader to like just want to fix everyone's problems, you know, and that's why they're coming to you there. That's why they're part of your group, and to value somebody enough to let them struggle in front of you it requires incredible honor for that person's place with the Lord in their journey, and stepping back and letting, you know, I mean, that's, but when it happens, it's so freeing for people,
so empowering.
Yeah, I know in our context, when people have done that, it really creates a chain reaction of people wanting to create safety. And so people let down easier, and when they know they're not going to get a sermon or a counseling session or a fix it, you know,
or limitation. You know,
yeah.
Most people are afraid to ask for help because the leader will just start limiting them. Yeah, because you have it all figured out. Let me find somebody who has it all figured out. Okay, I'll add that to them.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, and people just get.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, we'll do the last question, and so good that it's early for Danny. Now he can go have dinner after this. I'm thinking now.
I'm going to Costco. Sherry's got a big Costco run planned for me, so I will be. I'll have a hot dog.
Yeah, that's good. My wife loves Costco. It's the shopper's high she gets when she goes there. Okay, all right. Charity is asking. I recently asked someone who serves on a number of my teams to give me feedback on my communication. Her response was that I could be more open and vulnerable. I am open and vulnerable with a couple of people who are close to me, but otherwise I keep personal things within my close circle. I don't want this member to feel like I don't value her, but I also don't trust her with deep things in my heart. Any suggestions on how to draw these boundaries while in leadership?
Yeah, not everybody has the same level of access to me, and that's just a reality. And I, just because I'm a leader, and maybe we're on the same leadership team, does not mean we're going to have the same. You're going to have the same access. You know, I have a personal culture as much as a family has a culture, organizations have a culture, countries have a culture. I have a personal culture. So I probably ought to pay attention, though, if I get that feedback more than once or twice, then all of a sudden other people are starting to experience me as closed off, as distant, and that increases anxiety because people don't really trust the information I'm getting in the relationship. So, how you doing? Fine. That's not what I heard. I heard that you told that person that you're close to that you weren't fine with me, and they told another person who told me. So now my anxiety is climbing because I don't think you tell me the truth. I don't think you tell other people the truth. That's going to bite you. So if you're working on building trust towards empowerment, then you get better at telling the truth. Now, the truth isn't what I think about you. The truth is how I'm experiencing you. And that's a challenge. I think the challenge is, hey, you're bossy and you're picky, and I don't like it, and I need you to stop it. Okay, that's not telling the truth. That's venting and judging. I feel criticized and run over in our conversations, and it's no fun. I don't want to have a conversation with you. Wow, that's feedback.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah. Hey guys, I want to encourage you to dive back in. I mean, rewatch this, but I feel like if you're like me, when I first started listening to some of Danny's stuff and reading some of his books, I was always groping for the formula, like, how does this really work? And I'm looking for, the steps and the formula. And I think when new ideas come that present a new paradigm, we're still grappling for old like maps to navigate these things. And so I just want to encourage you, like some of these things, you're being confronted with stuff that's sending you on a brand new journey. Some of you that you've only known fear-based cultures or control and stuff like that. And God's calling you out of that. He's calling you into a healthy arena. And so I want to encourage you, like as you're being provoked by this material, like let it provoke you into the more. Let it provoke you to seek the Lord and go on that journey with the Lord, because it's not about the steps and it's not about saying the right things always. It's about the heart condition changing. And that's what God wants to do in you as you go on this journey. And so anyway, Danny, thank you for taking some time with us tonight, and our students and some of our guests that are joining us. So good as always, and so rich. And we love you, and tell your wife thank you for letting us delay your Costco run a little bit. And
very welcome. Very welcome.
Yeah.
God bless you guys. And courage and impartation as you listen to this, that there will be a stirred up inside of you, and encouraged to live in the light more, because it's scary out there.
Yeah, it's good. Awesome. Well, bless you, Danny. We'll let you sign off, and I'm going to make a couple of announcements, and enjoy.
Okay. All right. God bless you guys.
God bless. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in. I mean, Danny's session tonight was so rich and so meaty. So I want to encourage you to go back through it. And he's got tons of materials, online courses, etc. We, in this particular school that we're running called Field Training for the Burn, we have 11 courses. And one of those courses, we use Danny's book, Keep Your Love On. And we go deep into those things with practical activations on dealing with conflict and dealing with those things in our culture, rooting out the fear in our culture and strengthening our relationship. So I want to encourage you to check out Burn Field Training if you're looking for a resource to stoke the flame, take you deeper, and really equip you for what you're called to do. Check that out. And then next month, we have another free webinar with Sean Bolse, which is another one of our friends in the Burn 24/7, and we love him. Just the practical wisdom and humility about moving in the supernatural and bringing that into everyday life and demystifying it. So he's going to talk about words of knowledge and living in that stream of words of knowledge as a lifestyle. That's going to be June 14th. you can register right now from this link. You just need your email, same as when you signed up for this. There'll be stuff on social media too, so take advantage of that. And we have tons of other resources. We have a worship school this summer for all you musicians and worshipers. It's called Hillside Intensive. We have one in the UK, we have one in Sacramento, and we have one in Raleigh, North Carolina. And they're usually 5 days to 2 weeks long, and incredible speakers from all over, including Jonathan David Helser and Banning Liebscher and some of the Jesus Culture guys. And it's just get equipped for worship. So anyway, it's been great having you guys tonight. And if you have any questions about field training or the upcoming webinar or anything we talked about tonight, feel free to email us at fieldtraining@theburn247.com. And otherwise, God bless you and have an amazing evening.